Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Experience, a very special edition of the Wrestling Experience. Today, today is Mother's Day Eve, and of course, the Knicks are in the playoffs. And of course, tonight we present to you Backlash in WWE. So we want you to enjoy the ride known as WWE, and welcome to the experience. Welcome to the Wrestling Experience. And like I said today, on the menu we got Backlash preview. We're gonna give you we're gonna give you my predictions for Backlash. Also, I have some wrestling news. We also have to talk about everything else that's in between, plus my final thoughts on AEW Dynamite. All of this and so much more for you today. Today, on a very special edition of the Wrestling Experience. Welcome aboard Planet Experience. You've landed on that mobile ship. Welcome to Experience. Welcome to the Wrestling Experience.
Never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after.
Turn me up, Johnny.
You landed on that mothership. Welcome to Planet Experience. Welcome to the Wrestling Experience.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the experience. Welcome back to the Wrestling Experience. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you smack down the like button. And of course, you subscribe today. I greatly appreciate it. So let's talk about Backlash for a second. Backlash is going to happen tonight at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, live from the Enterprise Center in downtown St. Louis, Missouri, and is exclusively on Peacock, pay per view, and satellite providers. And I'm going to tell you this much the matches are absolutely great. We are going to have for you 5 matches. We got 5 matches for you. We have 5 great matches for you tonight on the Backlash card. So let's just dive into it. Let's just get into it. Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight versus Damian Priest for the United States Championship in a fatal 4 way. The match is going to be fine. The match is going to be great for what it is. Jacob Fatu is a beast. He's a monster. And ever since he's got into the WWE, he's been unstoppable with his prowess and, of course, his presence. So he just won the United States Championship at WrestleMania over LA Knight. I do not see the WWE stripping him of that. So my prediction for this will be Jacob Fatu will remain and retain the United States Championship in a hard fought, physical, and of course, awe-inspiring fatal 4 way. These men will bring it like nobody's business. And I'm going to tell you this much: this fatal 4 way is going to be great. I love me some fatal 4 way. As long as it's done correctly, you got my heart, and you make my heart grow fonder when you book it correctly. So I'm looking for Jacob Fatu to retain here. No big No, nothing major. I don't think will happen here. I don't see Priest winning it. I don't see McIntyre. Now McIntyre is a dark horse. McIntyre is a dark horse, and he could shock the world and win the United States Championship. But really, I do not see them taking the belt off of Jacob Fatu and giving it to Drew McIntyre. Even though McIntyre is a dark horse here, and he's probably everyone's odds-on favorite to win the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, the United States Championship. But again, like I said, Fatu just won it at WrestleMania. There's no reason right now to make him drop the strap at this point. And there's no way they would do that. I don't see the WWE doing that. So I have Jacob Fatu retaining here. It's going to be a hard fought retainment. Now, what happens after this? Well, we have to see what happens. We have to see what happens because Priest and McIntyre, I don't think they're done with each other singly. I don't think so. And Knight is still chasing the United States Championship. I want LA Knight to be in another program here. I don't want to see Knight going after Fatu again for the United States Championship after this. I think that LA Knight should be feuding with somebody else. I think they should just get off of this train and get him into something else. I mean, how many times are you going to give LA Knight a chance after chance after chance for the United States Championship? I don't think it's necessary. I think that this should be the last ride for Mr. Knight. And I think that he should go into another program with something else. And I think that something else should be done in immediate fashion because I don't think I want to see him going after the title again. We've already seen it so many different times, so many variations that it's just not necessary anymore. It's wearing the carpet thin. So after this fatal four way, I want to see LA Knight in something else, and that's just my opinion and my opinion only. Jeffrey, how you doing? I hope Solo doesn't try and beat. I hope it, I hope Solo doesn't try and cost Jacob. Yeah, well, Jeffrey, yeah, that's something that I was going to allude to. Backstage last night at SmackDown, which, by the way, thank you all so much for watching SmackDown last night. I had a good time doing it. From the Nutter Center in Dayton, Ohio. Uh, I think Jacob Fatu send a warning to Solo about coming out there and interfering in the contest. We don't want to see him interfere. We don't want to see that. I don't want to see that happen in the Fatal Four Way. I don't want to see his ugly nose in the match. Let the match end clean. Let the match end clean in a Fatal Four Way. And if Jacob Fatu's got to pin LA Knight to eat the pin, all right, fine. Let him eat the pin. Let him eat the pin and then move on. Move on in the program. That's what I want to see here. So I again, like I said, I have Jacob Fatu winning here. All right. Dominic Mysterio taking on Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. Um, here's what's gonna happen here. Here's what's gonna happen here. I believe Dom is gonna retain, but we're gonna have a problem because Finn Balor seems to be jealous of Dominic Mysterio. And he is jealous to the point where I believe he's going to interfere in this match. And I believe he's probably going to walk down there, but it won't matter because I think Dom is going to retain over Penta. But we could get a swerve here, and Balor cost Dominic the match and the Intercontinental Championship. That could happen. That could happen here at Backlash 2025. Yeah, so um what did Jeffrey say? Dom retains, but I wouldn't be surprised if Penta wins. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that, Jeffrey. I agree with your assessment. And what is it? Finn will try and help Dom. Yeah, so Finn will try to help Dom Mysterio, but like I said, I'll say it again, and I'll allude to this. I think he's going to come down and try to help Dom. But in deep down, there is a green-eyed monster inside of Finn Balor. He is so jealous of Dom Mysterio winning the Intercontinental because it was Dom Mysterio who pinned Balor at WrestleMania to become the Intercontinental Championship in that three-way. So we're gonna have to see what unfolds here tonight. But I have Dom Mysterio. I have Dom Mysterio retain the Intercontinental Championship. All right. Okay. So let's go to this. Gunther. Gunther will take on Pat McAfee. This is Pat McAfee's eighth appearance in a ring, in a WWE ring. And I'm going to tell you this much. Pat McAfee is going to have a long day in the office with Mr. Gunther. Gunther is relentless. Gunther can be vicious when he wants to be. Um, but Gunther also has a vulnerable side to him. A kink in his armor, he tapped out at WrestleMania to Jey Uso to become champion. So Gunther is in the ring, and he this is his first match since WrestleMania, after WrestleMania, and Gunther is coming in there to destroy Pat McAfee. But I don't think Gunther's going to win this match. I don't see Gunther winning this match at all. I see it going the other direction. I can see it going in the direction. Um, what did Jeffrey say? Finn just trying to screw Dom. Yep, he was trying to screw Dom. That's correct. I agree with that. Gunther is gonna put McAfee to sleep. Yeah, yeah. I think that's what's gonna happen here. Um, I hope Cole and his coal mines will escape from Gunther. Yeah. So I I would like to. I have Pat McAfee winning this match, but I have a funny feeling Gunther's just going to be vicious towards Pat. I don't know if Pat McAfee can handle Gunther, and this match could swing either way. But I really hope that I get my prediction come true and Pat wins the match. So I'm going to predict that Pat McAfee wins this match. I'm going to predict that Pat McAfee wins this match. So I'm going to predict that McAfee goes over Gunther here. Okay. The Women's Intercontinental Championship match. It is Lyra Valkyria taking on Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch has turned a delusional heel ever since WrestleMania, after WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw. She turned on Lyra Valkyria. But here's the thing I don't understand. Why didn't you wait until Monday Night Raw for Becky to turn heel? What I would have done, what I would have done was is that I would have had Becky turn heel at WrestleMania, turn on Lyra Valkyria, costing them the tag team championships, and gave it back to Liv and Raquel, and let Raquel and Liv retain. And then the next night on Raw, have Lyra come out on Raw and ask Becky, what was that all about? What did you do what you did at WrestleMania? That's the way I would have booked the match, but that's not what WWE did. They did it in reverse. They did it in reverse, and now Becky is a heel. She's jealous of Bailey. She talks about Bailey all the time in her promos. She's calling out Bailey. I believe Bailey and Becky Lynch will meet at SummerSlam at some point, and I believe that's going to happen at SummerSlam. They're going to build that up until SummerSlam, and those two women will collide at SummerSlam in MetLife Stadium I believe that's the way they should travel here and build that up until SummerSlam. But however, I digress. This is the WWE. Remember that. Um, so I don't see Becky Lynch winning the Women's Intercontinental Championship. We're gonna get another retainment. Lara Valkyria will win over Becky Lynch, and she's going to retain the Intercontinental Championship. I don't see Becky Lynch winning the Intercontinental Championship. But we could get a shocker, and Becky could walk out of St. Louis as the Women's Intercontinental Championship. We could see that happen, but I just can't see it in the crystal ball. I just can't see it in the crystal ball. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out what is going to go on here. Now, we could get Bailey coming out and helping Lyra retain the title and go after Becky Lynch. I could see that happening too. I could see that happening. After week after week, she's calling her out in her promos. That Bailey comes out and helps Lyra retain. We could get that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens tonight at Backlash. So, what did Jeffrey say? People are saying Goldberg will make his appearance presence felt. I, you know what? I don't know if Goldberg is going to show up tonight at Backlash. We'll see what happens with that, Jeffrey. I felt the same way too. I felt the same way too, and somebody was telling me about that. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see, Jim. I'm going to say Lyra retains with Bailey's help. She's been having Bailey's name. Yes, that's what I just said. That is exactly what I just said. So I have Lyra Valkyria retaining the Intercontinental Championship, and that's what's going to happen here. That's exactly what's going to happen. All right. All right. We have one more match to give you, and that is the main event of Backlash. It is the undisputed WWE Championship. It's John Cena versus Randy Orton for the last time, and this is John Cena's final match in the St. Louis market. So, John Cena is going to defend the title against Orton. Now, these two men have a rival history. We've all seen it chronicled on WWE television. This is the last match that Cena will ever wrestle against Randy Orton. So here's the thing. This could swing either way here. Orton is wrestling in his hometown. It's in front of his wife. It's in front of his mother, his family. All his dignitaries will be in the audience. Cena is here to ruin childhood dreams, as he kept saying over and over again in the match. This match could go either way in the pendulum. Um, I don't know what my prediction is here. I can't seem to wrap my head around what's going to happen here. Um, we all know Cena cannot retain. Cena, after Cena's retired, the belt will have to get retired or relinquished or declared vacant after Cena's last match. So I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't know whether they're going to have Orton defeat Cena in front of his home crowd and become the new champion and march forward, or are we going to get Cena retained under some nefarious means and he walks out of St. Louis still the champion? We're going to have to see. I can't really predict this match. I really cannot predict it. It's yin and yang here. It's yin and yang. And remember, um, here is that this is Cena's last time in the ring. He's not wrestling Orton again, so you can't ask for a rematch if Orton wins the match. You can't ask for a rematch. So if Cena loses the match to Orton, then what else is there for Cena to do after that? What's there to do? So I'm gonna say, I hate to say this, but Cena retains. Cena retains, and yeah, Cena's gonna retain here. They're gonna continue with Cena's journey, his heel journey, and then he's going to come out in promos and he's going to talk about how he defeated Orton and shattered the dreams of everyone and everything. So I have a feeling that that's what they're going to do here. I think Cena is going over Orton and he's going to defeat Orton, not in a clean way. I don't see it ending in a clean way. They're going to build some kind of shenanigans around the match as they always do. And that's the way that's gonna happen. So I have Cena retaining the championship with shenanigans. All right, let's go to the chat and see what happens. Oh, okay. Uh, did Jeffrey say anything? Let's see. I agree. They should have waited to for Raw to turn back. Yeah. Yes. I said that. Yeah. Rally, how's it going, Rally? How's it going, Rally? How's it going, my friend? Okay, okay. I've got Becky winning, and then it's Bailey versus Becky feud. My prediction. Yeah. Um. Okay. So Rally has Becky winning. All right, Rally. All right, you got Becky winning. Okay, and then Bailey will take on Becky. Okay. Okay, I can see that too. I can get down with that. I can see that. And then Cena retains his champ. Yeah, yes, Jeffrey, I did say Cena retains. Cena retains. I was thinking, 25 years of John Cena versus Orton. Yes, yes. And then Riley says Bailey beats Bailey beats Becky's new champion down the line, and Cena winning. Then Cody gets title back. Of and Orton isn't winning though. Okay, so you don't have Orton winning here. You have Cena keeping the belt until when? When do you see the belt being when do you see? Here's the question. Okay, so we have Cena retain, but the question I have for you, Raleigh, is when did you want to see Cena lose the title? At SummerSlam? It could happen. We could get Cody Rhodes ask for a rematch at SummerSlam, and that's when we get Cody winning the match. We could get that. We could get that. And then Raleigh says, I also got Jacob Fatu. Yeah, I did say that in the predictions. And Cena retains 100% until Cody returns. Okay. All right. So Cena retains here. Raleigh says Cena retains. I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree with the assessment. Cena retains. Cena retains here. And we're going to keep the belt until Cody comes back. And then Cody's going to ask for a rematch. And I think we're going to get it at SummerSlam. I think they're going to build this up to SummerSlam. I really think so. And I think that's the perfect time for Cena to drop the title to back to Cody is at SummerSlam. Cody's going to come out. He's going to call. He's going to call him out. He's going to say, "Look, listen. You didn't win clean at WrestleMania. You didn't beat me clean. You didn't beat me fair and square. I want a rematch." And Cena's just gonna keep building. He's gonna tell him, no, 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 no. They're gonna do that. I have a feeling that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna keep teasing it. They're gonna keep teasing the rematch. And Cena's gonna every time Cody comes back and he calls out Cena, he's gonna say, no, 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 no. I don't want to versus you. I've already beaten you, and so on and so forth. That's what I say. That's what I say they're going to do here. All right. So that, ladies and gentlemen, that was Backlash. That was Backlash predictions. Those are my predictions for Backlash. And like I said tonight, I'll be on the air at 6:50 for Backlash. and I hope you'll join me in the streams. And we'll be live on the air at 6:50 Eastern Time for WWE Backlash. All right, all right. Make sure everybody hit that like button. And all right, let's get into some W. Let's get into some news. Let's get into some wrestling news, shall we? All right. All right, let's talk about Finn Balor for a second. SummerSlam, maybe, yeah. Cody will win back the title. Yeah, I did say that, Riley. I did say that. That could happen. That could happen. Okay, uh, let's talk about Finn Balor for a second. Okay, Finn Balor lost a huge opportunity to clinch the WWE Intercontinental Championship in a fatal four-way match at WrestleMania 41. The Star ended up getting pinned in the match and slowly phased out the Judgment Day, with Dominic Mysterio taking charge as the new leader of the faction. JD McDonough made a surprise return to WWE Raw after WrestleMania and is scheduled for his first match since coming back and taking on Penta in the red brand. With the former Universal Champion getting involved in a feud with Penta, there's a strong chance he might interfere in the match to support Dunna. However, while Balor might initially come out to support McDonough, things could have a surprising turn, with this return ultimately costing McDonough the big match, furthering deepening the rift in the Judgment Day. This could lead to the rest of the faction turning on Balor, ousting him from the group. In turn, the betrayal could position Balor as a babyface and serve as a strong launchpad for re- revitalizing his career. So what WWE is doing here is they're putting a wedge between Balor and the Judgment Day. And this is what this is why I said I think Balor is going to interfere in this Intercontinental Championship match. He is jealous of McDonough and Dom's relationship inside the Judgment Day. Okay. So he comes out and he wants to help Dom retain. But what happens if he accidentally causes Dom the Intercontinental Championship match and it goes to Penta? We could get that. We could get that tonight at Backlash. And then on Monday Night Raw, the finger pointing will start. And this will drive a wedge even more wider in the Judgment Day faction. I don't have a problem with this whatsoever. And you get Finn Balor away from Judgment Day, turn him back babyface, and then he feuds with the Judgment Day. I don't have a problem with this. I don't know about you all. I can't think for everyone. I can't say for everyone, but I don't have a problem with this. I just don't. I think this is great. This is the jump start that Balor needs. Balor needs to get he needs a push. He needs some kind of a push here in his vernacular, wrestling vernacular. He needs a push. So I don't know. I don't know what you all think. I don't know. I I don't know what your all feelings are about that, but I have a feeling that that's what the road that they want to travel on here. We could get Penta winning the title thanks to Finn Balor. I mean, that could happen tonight at Backlash. We could get a brand new Intercontinental Champion crowned at Backlash. But that could happen. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. All right. Let's talk about Crown Jewel, shall we? Let's talk about Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel championships are on the move, literally. With WWE announcing that Crown Jewel 25 will take place in Perth, Australia instead of Saudi Arabia. Questions have arisen about what happens to the men's and the women's title traditionally held in the kingdom. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE is planning to hold the Crown Jewel Championship matches at October 11th 25 event in Australia. On Crown Jewel pay-per-view on 10/11, they have the annual Crown Jewel title match previously scheduled as an annual thing in Saudi Arabia, Meltzer wrote. The shift comes as Saudi Arabia is set to host the Royal Rumble next year. The Royal Rumble will be held in Saudi Arabia on January the 2026, which is why they won't get another major event later in the year. Meltzer added that the WWE expects Crown Jewel title matches to return to Saudi Arabia in 2026, with the Survivor Series reclaiming its focus on the War Games matches. So, for now, Crown Jewel is being moved to Perth, Australia. This is just a temporary move by WWE because, as I said in the article, Royal Rumble is set to head to Saudi Arabia for the first time ever. This is the first time that Royal Rumble will be held outside of the United States, and it's going to Saudi Arabia next year. Like I said before, saying I don't have an issue with this. I don't have an issue with this whatsoever. And speaking of Survivor Series, as you all know, the Survivor Series is happening at the end of November after Thanksgiving, and it will be held at Petco Park. This is the first time that the Survivor Series will be held outdoors. This will be the first time the Survivor Series will be held outdoors. And I don't have an issue with it either. And the War Games. It's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to construct the War Games and those two massive giant cages and bringing it down. And it's going to be interesting to see what it looks like on camera with the outdoor look and feel. So that was WWE news. Um, David, how's it going? How's it going, David? How you doing today? Hit the like button, everyone. Smash it. Um, all right. All right, let's continue with some wrestling news. All right. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. Braun Strowman's release was about high salary and numerous of injuries per per WON. One person in WWE said that he was hurt worse than people realized. So Braun Strowman was released again for the second time by WWE because of his high salary and because the numerous of injuries he suffered in the ring. Um, and again, Braun Strowman just he hurt himself really bad in matches. You can clearly see Strowman is always in pain. You could see the look on his face when he was in matches, and he just did not fail to capture any kind of magic in WWE anymore. It was just he had nothing in his repertoire all he did was a power slam and the brawn train around the ring and running around the ring and pouncing on people. So that was all that he had in his repertoire. He couldn't do anything else. I mean, his athleticism was not bad. I mean, he wasn't he didn't move stiffly in the ring. He was trying to move correctly in the ring and everything else. But Strowman it just was just very painful to watch at times. Some of his matches, very painful to watch. And again, that's my opinion. And the WWE made the right call by pulling the plug on Strowman at this point because really you tried so hard creatively to try to do something to push him in the right direction, but you paid him so much money to return, and then he kept getting injured, and then it just looked awkward on camera that some of his matches. So the WWE made the right call here and released Strowman. I I listen. I don't like getting people getting laid off. It's not a good thing. It's not fun. But at this point in time, Strowman, you can't keep um bandaging something that you know it's going to fall apart eventually. So, my whole thing is that Strowman just didn't have it anymore. It wasn't conducive to what we like to watch on TV when it comes to big men and what they can do in the ring. I mean, look at Omos. He's not on WWE TV. They pulled him from WWE TV. He's not on WWE TV. Um, there are other big men in the WWE that just didn't have it. I mean, you're not going to see them do a cartwheel or a 460 splash, a Phoenix splash. They're just not. They're too big to get up to that rope, to that top rope. So Strowman getting released again, I was not shocked at it. I was just not shocked. It wasn't shocking to me. It just wasn't. It just was not shocking to me. So that's my take on it. Earl, Knicks are all the way, brother. Yes, David, the Knicks are all the way, and let's see what happens this afternoon at 3:30. Let's see what happens at 3:30 this afternoon in Madison Square Garden. All right. The PW Insider says that there's a lot of positive feedback on Joe Hendry backstage in WWE, and it's considered a lock that he will sign there when his TNA contract expires. WrestleNomics listed as Hendry's WrestleMania shirt as one of the WWE's top selling merch items for the month of April. So looks like Joe Hendry, he believes in WWE, and once his contract is expired, then he's going to sign with them. I don't have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with Joe Hendry getting into the WWE. I don't have an issue with it. I don't. I think that this is great. Fans love Joe Hendry. He's always on the internet. He's always posting something. He's always such a polarized figure on WWE. And once he signs with them and he comes in, whatever brand he chooses to be on, whether it's Raw or SmackDown, he's gonna have fun. He's gonna have fun with the WWE universe and of course, in the ring with his opponents. So I don't have an issue with this. And I wish Joe Henry the good luck. And I would love to see him in the WWE ring. I really would. All right. Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer claims that the World Championship match between Logan Paul and Jay Uso isn't booked at Backlash because WWE is instead planning for the May 24th episode of Saturday night's main event. So if you all didn't hear this announcement. I believe this is what's going to happen here. On Saturday night, May the 24th, which is Saturday night's main event on the eve of Double or Nothing, we're going to have Saturday night's main event nationwide on NBC and Peacock. And the headliners by Jay Uso and, of course, Logan Paul. Logan Paul will go after Jay Uso and the title. Now, they kept this off of Backlash card. There was some, I believe that they were going to add this to the card, but they kept this off. They want to keep building this up. So if you all didn't see what happened last week on Raw, when Raw went off the air, there was a viral video of Jay Uso leaving the arena and he's high fiving everyone in the audience. When out of nowhere, Logan Paul knocked him out on the arena floor with one punch with a right hand. So Logan Paul and Jay Uso have some issues, and they're going to settle those issues on Saturday night's main event, and the title will be on the line. So that's one of the matches you're going to see at Saturday night's main event in Tampa St. Pete on Saturday night, the 24th of May. All right. Meltzer also says that one person high up in the decision making considers Io Sky to be a breakout star this year. She's ridiculously great work rate, and everyone loves working with her. Yeah, Io Sky. Io Sky. Let me just talk about this for a second. Io Sky, ladies and gentlemen, her wrestling has improved. Now I don't know if you all seen this or not. But she has improved since she's been called up to the roster. And now that she's champion, she is really holding her own in matches. She really has. That match she had at WrestleMania was probably one of the best Io Sky matches I have seen in a vastly long time. And I mean it vastly. And if you all don't agree with it, that's fine. I'm not here to trample on your thought process, but I think that Io Sky has improved immensely. She has improved immensely. And I give her credit and I give WWE kudos for working with Io Sky and getting her craft honed and getting ready. Because let's face it, boring control is over. Boring control is done and over with. Bailey is going in another direction. Io is going in another direction. Kyrie Singh, I could see her coming back and being a singles competitor. And of course, we all know Dakota Kai got released by WWE. So damage control is over. There's no more damage control. That's it for damage control. Officially, damage control is dead. That's it. There's no more damage control. Or as I like to call it, boring control. And so so that's it. So good stuff right for Io Sky. Fightful Select mentions that Willow Nightingale's contract in AEW is set to expire in a few months, but the AEW is expect to resign her. Well, I hope that the AEW resigns Willow Nightingale. I love me some Willow Nightingale. I don't know about you all. I can't speak for everyone, but I am a huge, and when I say huge, I mean I am a huge fan of Willow Nightingale. I love some Willow Nightingale. The girl comes out every night, every week, every month, and she just wants to have fun. Like Cindy Lauper says, girls want to have fun. Well, that's Willow Nightingale. She exudes that song. That she should come out to that song because she likes to have fun. You can see it on her face. She comes out and she's infectious. The little girls love her. They love her music. They love everything about Willow Nightingale, and I have no issues with her. And I hope AEW resigns her because she's good. She'll be good in that brand. Okay, 60-year-old Matt Hardy told Busted Open Radio that he and his brother Jeff recently did a real intense test with WWE and were both told that their bodies are in stages in our bodies are in shape like 30 to 35-year-olds. Okay? So WWE is saying that their bodies are in, I would kind of disagree with that. Okay. Regarding the WWE's main roster departure, the Observer heard the discussions were about wanting to bring new people to television, and those who were let go had reached their peak usage. The phrase "dead weight" was also used. So, um, yeah. So the releases, that's kind of strong to say dead weight. I wouldn't say dead weight. Now, okay, now, like I said in the beginning of the stream, Strowman getting released, Strowman getting released was not a surprise to me. Wasn't a surprise to me. Dakota Kai getting released, yeah, I could see that. She's boring. She was just boring. She couldn't, I mean, there was just really nothing to her. There was nothing really of value to her, you know? Um, it's the same thing with Katen and Katana Chance. They just were boring. They were just boring tag team. There was really nothing, they had nothing to do in their repertoire. And they really didn't do much with them when they got called up to the main roster. So I kind of knew that they were going to be done and over with as soon as possible. So I don't want to, like I said, I don't have a problem here. They wanted fresh blood. They wanted new people on TV. I get it. They reached their limit with them, and I don't have a problem with this because, like I said, Kate and Katana Chance, they they were they were not good as a tag team. They was just it was boring. It was really, 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 really boring. Really boring. I'm telling you. So that's just my take on it. That's just my hot take on it. All right. All right. The Wrestling Observer notes that Triple H made the final call on WWE's latest round of talent cuts. However, it's not known if he was told a number and that he had to release a dollar amount that he would have to cut in the release or if it was just all at his discretion. Okay, so TKO told Triple H he's got the final say in these cuts. They had to make some cuts. Triple H made the cut. He found out, who he thought wasn't doing their just diligence or due diligence here, and he made the decision on the people that he made the decision with. I don't have an issue with this at all. The only problem that I have, the only problem that I have was the body shaming incident that was alleged by NXT's. That was the only thing. That was the only thing about this release was this accusation towards Triple H and WWE in a toxic environment backstage about body shaming. You should not be body shaming anybody. Let me just say something here. When you work in a place, it doesn't matter what profession you are. I mean, if you're a model or you should really not be body shaming anybody. You really shouldn't. You really shouldn't. You really should not be body shaming anyone. Nobody should ever feel small. You should never make anybody feel small. in a workplace and make them put them under a microscope. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that whatsoever. I just don't. To put somebody down because of their body or the way they look at you. You ever look yourself in the mirror, as I always say to people? And like I always says, when they go high, you go low. That's what I always say all the time. When they go low, you go high. And you should not be body shaming anyone or putting anybody down because of what they look like. You don't have that say. You don't have that luxury. Especially if you look like something rolled over on a mountain. So I don't believe in putting down anyone. I believe in bringing people up. And that's what I believe. But if you don't feel the same way I do, that's fine. That's fine. We agree to disagree. That's what makes the world go around. All right, folks. That was your wrestling news. That was your wrestling news. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this for a second. All right, folks. Let's see. She was told to do some conditioning program, and she wasn't body shamed. That's bull. Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. Gore, gore guts, gore, gore guts, gore guts. Thank you so much for your comment, and make sure that you subscribe and you hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it. Um, so So she claimed that it was body shaming, but everybody would say no because they wanted to do some conditioning, and she went all over the place. All right, that's unfortunate. Um, all right, so let's talk about AEW Dynamite for a second. And Dynamite took place this past Wednesday in Detroit, Michigan, at the Masonic Temple Theater. And Dynamite was great. This was a good Dynamite. This was a good AEW Dynamite. I have to admit, this past Wednesday was good. They have some build-up going on for Beach Break next week. They kept emphasizing the steel cage match with Samoa Joe and John Moxley. Moxley and Samoa Joe are going to be locked inside the steel cage next week on Dynamite. I'm going to tell you this much: this match is going to be woolly wild and all over the place. I'm going to tell you this much: this match is going to be one for the ages, and I think Beach Break is looking to be a good show. It looks like another good show from AEW next week in Chicago, so we're going to have to see about that. But this past Wednesday, all right, so I'm just going to talk about some of the matches, not all of the matches, and I'll give you my entertainment level and my thoughts on it. Hangman Adam Page and Will Ospreay face off for the first time. Yeah, so that happened in the ring. That happened in the ring, and Page questioned why the crowd cheered him, but he wanted them to know the difference. And he admitted he felt nothing after he won over Swerve. FTR and Stokely Hathaway threatened Tony Schiavone before finally accepting Daniel Garcia's singles challenge. Yep. And that did happen this past Wednesday on Dynamite. Tony Storm versus Thunder Rosa, and Penelope Ford versus Anna Jay. Yeah, this was another good match. This was a good match. Tony Storm defeated and she pinned Thunder Rosa. I thought the match was great. Great chemistry, great nuance in the match. I'm gonna give this match a 7. The match gets a 7. Match gets a 7 for me. I thought it was good. I thought it was some good stuff. I really did. All right. Nick Wayne took on Rhino. I thought the match was great. This was great to see Rhino back on AEW TV. He comes in, Christian introduces Rhino. He comes out, and Christian is it's just he's I can see him kicking Nick Wayne out of the patriarchy. I can see this is happening. He keeps doing these things to him each and every week on Dynamite. She kept talking about it. He kept putting him out there in matches to see how tough he is as a champion. And then when he wins, Nick Wayne wins the match. He doesn't put the title. He's grabbing Christian grabs the title like he won the dang thing. You didn't win the title. He did. And this was just so Christian is just these two men. I have a feeling at some point we're going to get him getting out of his clutches, and he's going to feud with Christian. I just have a feeling that is the road that you're going to travel on. The match was fine. The match was all right for what it was. The great chemistry, great nuance. Nick Wayne retains the title, and he retained it, and he defeated Nick Wayne defeated Rhino. I'm going to give this match. I'll give this match a 6. I'll give the match a 6. It was good for what it was. Do I want to see it again? No. Yeah. Everything it was good. This was good for what it was. We keep showing you the wedge between Christian and Nick Wayne at some point, and that wedge is going to get wider and wider and wider and wider until Nick Wayne snaps on Christian, which I can't wait for. All right. All right, Swerve Strickland, Mike Bailey, and Mark Briscoe took on the Young Bucks and Ricochet. The match was fine for what it was. Again, the Elite going over and winning the match with Ricochet. I didn't have a problem with this match. I just can't stand the Young Bucks. I'm not a fan of them. As everybody calls them, the Young Sucks. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Young Bucks. I'm really not. But I mean, it was good for what it was. And on an entertainment level, this was absolutely. I'll give this match a 7. I'll go up to a 7. I'll go up to a 7. I'll be nice. I'll be nice. I'll go up to a 7. And like I said, it was good for what it was. It was good for what it was. And that's the greatest thing that I can do about it. That's the best I can do about it. Let's give it a 7. All right. All right, let's talk about the Dynamite main event. Samoa Joe, Samoa Joe took on Claudio Castagnoli. This this was this was great. This was some good stuff. Samoa Joe is focused, laser focused on John Moxley. He is laser like focused on Moxley in this steel cage match. And I'm going to tell you something when that 15-foot high steel cage gets lowered and the Now Arena will host Dynamite this Wednesday in Hoffman States, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. And and I'm going to tell you this much. This is going to be great. This is going to be a banger. This match is going to be a banger. And if I was AEW, just like the WWE did with the TLC match, see how important this match is. I would do this commercial free. I would do this main event commercial free without any interruptions whatsoever. I would do this main event commercial free. In the cage, two men going to war, and I would make this commercial free. I really would hope Tony Khan would pull that kind of trigger because we don't need any interference from the commercials. We don't need any interference. We want to see this match in its entirety without commercial breaks, without picture in picture, without anything. We want to see this match unfold and tell us and weave us a tale in that cage. And the only way that could be achieved and won is by doing commercial free. And I think that should happen. It should happen that way because when you have something of significance like this, like the TLC match that we haven't seen in WWE TV in quite some time, um, you need commercial free. Now I don't know about how you all feel about this. I don't know how you feel about this, but it needs to be commercial free. This needs to be in commercial free. So that's my take on it. That's my take on the main event. So Dynamite was good. I gave the show a B. The show got a B, and yeah, like I said, the main event, that steel cage, like I said, my opinion, it should become, it should be a commercial free main event. And that is what it should be. All right. So that was Dynamite. That's my final thoughts on Dynamite and some of the matches that you have seen on the show. Um, yeah, that's my final thoughts on it. And MJF continues, and one more thing, MJF continues to try to get into the Hurt Syndicate. Again, he took out Dante Martin and of course Darius Martin on the arena floor, and Bobby Lashley says, "I'll give you my answer next week." So he's gonna make MJF wait until next week. And I'm going to tell you this much. If MJF doesn't get his answer by next week, I don't know what's going to happen here, but we could see MJF trying to get on the other side of the Hurt Syndicate and try to cost them the tag team championship match after they kicked him out of the Hurt Syndicate. If he doesn't get in, he could get revenge. MJF could get revenge on the Hurt Syndicate. And that could happen. That could happen. But we're going to see what happens next week on Dynamite. So we have the answer to MJF. We have a steel cage match. And of course, Ricochet will take on Gowan, Matt Gowan, who was in the audience at Collision. If you all didn't see what happened last week on Collision, Thursday night on Collision, Gowan, an amputee, of his leg. He came into the ring and Ricochet humiliated him in front of the audience by taking his leg, his prosthetic leg, and it was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting what Ricochet did. I'm not even going to go into it. I'm not even going to repeat what he did. But that's what Ricochet did, and he's going to go against Gowan on Beach Break on Wednesday night, and yeah, followed by that main event and Samoa Joe and John Moxley for the title. All right, folks, that's it. That's it for me and the wrestling experience. That is it. That is it. I gave you my predictions. I gave you my thoughts on Dynamite. And of course, I gave you some wrestling news. So, folks, that is it. That is going to do it for me here this afternoon. I want to thank you all for watching the wrestling experience. Now, I'm not going away in cyberspace. No, 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 no. I'm going to be back tonight at 6:50 Eastern Time for Backlash. I will bring you Backlash on Peacock, cable, and Omen satellite providers, and we're going to have fun with that tonight. Don't forget, I'll be on the air at 6:50 Eastern Time for Backlash. We're going to have fun with Backlash, and I can't wait to do the show. It's going to be a barn burner of a good time in St. Louis. I can't wait to see all the matches get unfolded. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Orton Cena for the final time is your main event for Backlash, and this is going to be great. So, folks, that's it. That's it for me. I'll see you all later. Good luck to the Knicks this afternoon in Madison Square Garden at 3:30, and of course, good luck to all of you. And have a good rest of your afternoon, everyone. And thank you for watching the Wrestling Experience. Until then, I'll see you at 6:50 for Backlash. Until then, everyone. So long and have a great rest of your afternoon.